We make healthy juices in our kitchen all the time, but there's one thing we almost always throw away. From this juice, I make immunity cubes that are perfect for everyday health. And this is the leftover pulp, the part most people dump straight into the trash. But this pulp is full of fiber and nutrients, so I turn it into a healing soup. One ingredient to powerful immunity recipes. Let's start with something simple. Carrots. Most of us peel them without thinking twice. But even the peels have texture, color, and flavor. Instead of treating them like waste, think of them as the beginning of something new. Because in this kitchen, scraps don't get discarded, they get transformed. From pulp to power, everything has potential. Next, a simple lemon. We usually use the juice and forget about the rest. But even the zest, the pulp, the tiny bits we ignore, they still carry brightness and flavor. In this kitchen, nothing is just leftover. Everything is part of the transformation. Because power doesn't come from perfection, it comes from using everything. Now, a small piece of ginger. Strong, sharp, unexpected. Sometimes it's the smallest scraps that bring the biggest impact. This is where simple ingredients turn into something powerful. And finally, coconut water. Light, natural, effortless. It brings everything together, not overpowering, just balancing. Simple ingredients, simple steps, nothing wasted, everything used. Half teaspoon turmeric and half teaspoon of black pepper. Sometimes it's not about adding more, it's about adding the right things. Separate pieces, become one vibrant mixture. This is the moment transformation happens. From pulp to power, it all comes together right here. Now we strain. The liquid becomes smooth and vibrant, ready. And this is what's left behind. Most people would call this waste. But this is where the real story begins. Because what's left behind still has value. The liquid is ready, but we're not stopping here. Instead of storing it in a bottle, we freeze it into small, powerful portions. Simple, practical, ready whenever you need it. After a few hours, they turn into solid immunity cubes. Small in size, but full of purpose. Just drop into warm water, and it melts back into a comforting drink. From blend to freeze to ready to use. Convenience without waste. But remember, this isn't the end of the story. We still have the pulp. And here it is, the leftover pulp. Still full of texture. Still full of potential. We're not throwing this away. Instead, we're building something new. Starting with fresh red bell pepper. For color, for depth, for contrast. Because transformation doesn't need fancy ingredients, just intention. This is where scraps stop being leftovers and start becoming something powerful. A little jalapeno for subtle heat. Chopped onion goes in next. And a few cloves of garlic. A drizzle of olive oil. A little salt. And curry powder for warmth. Into the oven at 400 degrees. Roast until the edges are slightly charred and deeply flavorful. Once roasted, everything goes into the blender. I'm adding a block of tofu for a natural boost of plant-based protein that makes this soup more satisfying. And now the real hero returns. The leftover pulp. Nothing wasted. 1 cup of vegetable broth, a little more salt. Then blend until smooth. Separate pieces. Fully transformed. And this is the result. A swirl of cream, a touch of chili oil. What started as scraps became something rich. What looked like waste turned into comfort. From pulp to power, this is how simple ingredients tell a better story. To immunity cubes. 1 nourishing soup, nothing wasted, everything transformed. Because in this kitchen, we don't throw food away, we reinvent it.